Welcome to the Sex and Love Labcast. This week on the podcast, I'm going to tell you about emotional maturity and why I will never settle again. Stay tuned. Welcome back. I'm using my hands apparently. Welcome back to the Sex and Love Labcast. I am your host, Lauren. I am alone today. It's been a few weeks since I've been alone. It's been a it's been a weird few weeks. Not gonna lie. So, and I'm recording this on the Thursday before the podcast premieres. I don't know if that's necessarily important, but there's some time sensitive things that I'm going to talk about. So it'll be 3 weeks Sunday since the guy that I was dating broke up with me, and then last week, a weekish ago, a day ago, my phone accidentally FaceTimed him, and I'm serious about it being an accident. It was in my pocket. And I went to the bathroom at work and I was sick and pulled out my phone and it was actively FaceTiming him for the second time. And so I was like, "Oh, I'm really sorry. I didn't mean to FaceTime you. My pocket really wanted to talk to you." And he responded, and his response was perfectly fine. It was nice. Apparently he thought that it actually had um called him, which was weird. Or that I'd actually called him and he needed to call back. Um, I don't think I had really tried. I'm going to use the word tried too, to grieve. Like I really liked him. And, so that happening kind of peeled the scab off where I actually even didn't have a scab. That's gross. I don't want to talk about scabs. You know what I'm saying though. I got really sad and I didn't respond to him. Like at the end of his sentence, it was, "Hope you're well." Well, no, I'm not well. We broke up a week and a half ago. Um, I was really into that, into him. Like when we met, things just clicked. I've talked about that enough. Um, and what really makes me upset is that I waited 6 weeks to speak about him on my podcast for this reason. Um, I didn't even mention him on like Facebook or anything. I didn't post pictures of us. I post pictures of our food when we went out to eat, um, or when we cooked, but like I didn't post him because I didn't want to then have to explain to the whole world about what happened. And then put a podcast out. And literally a week and a half later, he's like, "Long distance is too much for me." So I don't know, just hearing from him and the "hope you're well," it just made me sad. And I realized there were some things that I did not get to say to him um, when we were on the phone and we broke up. And there's some things that I think would be beneficial. Nothing hurtful. I don't want to change the outcome of anything. I mean, I'm not going to say I don't want to change the outcome. I wish it had ended differently, but I'm not trying to change the outcome. And so I sent him a text yesterday. Sent him a text. And the gist of it was, "I would like to talk to you about some things and tell you some things if you're open to that." But I haven't heard from him and it's been 24 hours. Um, so I don't know. I don't know. I I think it would help with the closure piece. Um, Overall, still, it was a very positive thing. And I titled this talking about, not settling. And truthfully, like he is the reason. I got right back on the dating apps after he broke up with me as a distraction. And I started talking to this guy a few days ago. He's a younger guy, lives in Orlando, very attractive, seemed very nice. He was very nice. And so we switched to Facebook Messenger and been talking. He hasn't been pushy about anything. He's been very nice, but he also hasn't like tried to get to know me that well. And we talk very sporadically throughout the day. So there's not really a chance for me to try to get to know him very well. So last night I decided I was just going to ask him some questions, but it was like single thought answers. He wouldn't talk back to me. And this guy's very intelligent, but I need a conversation, you know? And so we had talked for a few days. I'm not even sure how many days. It was 3 or 4. And today I was just like, hey, I need, if this is for real, like something that you want to do, because I just kind of assumed like he just wanted like a friends with benefit situation because he is long distance, but he kept talking about like he wants me to be his and he was calling me princess. And I finally was like, this is fine and good, but I need to know you and I don't feel like I know you. And I mentioned that because of how, my ex was and how interested and he was and how well he could converse and, you know, learning that what he gave me should be the bare minimum because it was so much more than what any other relationship had ever given me. He even was like, I can fully acknowledge that I'm not doing anything special. This just should be bare minimum, you know? I mentioned that, and so the guy comes back and he's like, I don't think it's fair for you to compare me to your past relationships. And he totally missed the point. Like, I'm telling you what I need and why. I'm not like, I do that because I want people to know where my needs are coming from. I'm not just trying to throw something out at you to tell you that I need it without a valid reason. So A plus B equals C. A is that my ex was much more emotionally in tune and present, right? Uh, Plus B, which is me, equals new set of standards, period. I'm not comparing you to him. I'm telling you these standards were set and this is what I need. And at the very least, talk to me. Just talk to me. If we cannot have a conversation, this cannot happen. And so I realized that it was probably the third or fourth time this week that I have done that. There was a guy who I had talked to off and on after me and my husband separated. And the last time we talked, I remember something had happened, but I couldn't find a message anywhere on my phone or in Facebook Messenger. We matched on Facebook dating last week. So I was like, okay, let's see. And then he wanted to switch to text. And I typed in his number and the message thread came up. And so I'll read you what I sent to him. I said, I went to text you and it brought up our text thread from the last time we spoke. This whole time I've been trying to remember what happened, but I didn't have you saved in my phone anymore. The thread still existed though. I appreciate catching up, but I don't think we should continue to talk. I wish you well. And then there was a guy who immediately just sent me his phone number, and I do not go from app to texting immediately. I got a graveyard full of numbers and text threads that I don't want to have to delete. I just don't. And so I'm very picky about who gets my phone number these days, especially with people finding me on, Facebook and inboxing me about like from the dating app. I don't mind. Well, I'm not saying I don't mind. If you need to inbox me or you need to talk, you can inbox me. You can say hi. But I have people from Facebook dating that will find me on Facebook. And it's weird. But anyway, so I'm a little more selective of who I give my number out to. So this guy was like, I told him that, and he's like, okay, well, you must just be dating casual When I seen you, I was ready to leave the app because you were enough for me, but it seems you just still want to explore. That's cool. So first of all, okay, red flag. We're putting this off on me and making this something that it isn't, you know. Um, and I said it's not that at all. Making assumptions about people isn't a good look. I've given plenty of people my number from these apps that turned out to be assholes, so I'm selective over who gets that information. But that's cool. And he said, oh, that's just how you miss your blessing by treating me different because everyone else was assholes. I'm not one of those people. I'm wanting to get to know you better with hoping we can make a relationship together is all. And I was like, the point is I don't know you. Like you're telling me like you think I'm not being exclusive or not wanting to actually date somebody. I'm telling you I'm actually very picky. So you can't just have my number. But there was that. So I was like, I wished him well, you know, thanked him for saving my time. And there was another guy, and I think I can't remember exactly what it was, but so it's been several times this week now that I've been put in the situation to either accept less or ask for more or walk away. And I walked away from all of them. It's pretty big. It is also lonely. Um, and I mean, yeah, I'll be honest. I wish that this wasn't what I was having to do. I wish that I was still, dating Mister, and that was fine. I wish the road between us had been closer. I wish he had just talked to me about it instead of making the choice to just end it because I had tentative plans that I had not discussed with him yet because it was still pretty early, and that's what I want. I don't want to be on Facebook having to sift through people. And I mean, like, I don't, I wish I can't really, you can't really see it, but I mean, I cleaned out my inbox when I got back on Facebook dating, and it's full of people that I don't talk to. It's full of people that, talk to me for a minute, and then there's just no connection there, and then they're gone, and that's fine. I don't want to waste the emotional energy. I just want someone that I click with. I gotta stop shaking this thing. Also, the camera is already. So what I want. I I had said that I thought this should be a whole podcast, like what I want. And I think maybe it will be, and I'll get into specifics. But like at the very least, I need someone who is communicative, right? And this is not a personal ad, but if you match some of the all of the standards, if you check the boxes, you can let me know. Um, and I don't need to be talking to somebody all the time. That's not what I mean by communicative. I mean that when we are talking, I need you to communicate with me. I don't want to talk to somebody all day, every day. I do want to be checked in with. I want to be part of your day, like I want to know what you're doing, want to know how you're feeling, if there's any way that I can support you, but I don't want to talk to you all day long. But when we are talking, whether it is through text or over the phone or in person, I want you to be communicative. And that's what this guy in Orlando, he just was not. Like he was not. He didn't have that trait. And he was like, you just got to give it a chance. But if it can happen in a matter of minutes with someone, it shouldn't necessarily take days, right? I'm not expecting I'm not expecting for another mister to come along who has so many of the same similarities and communication styles. I'm not expecting that exact package to come back along. That package obviously wasn't for me, but I am expecting somebody who has some of those key traits. And one of those is being communicative. Um, when something is wrong, stop and talk about it. You know, I don't understand. I mean, I do. Actually, I do. Society has told men that they shouldn't share their feelings. They just need to shut up and provide and, do their job and whatnot. I get it. And it's unfair. And so you have had generations of females who have been told that's just how men are. And that's what we're used to. I put too much water enhancer in here. ASMR. I don't know if you can hear that. Um, So I feel like there's just been this big shift in women's expectations. And maybe it's because I wonder what the statistics are on men versus women in therapy. Percentage of men versus women in therapy. Let's see. Women are more likely to receive mental health treatment than men. In 2021, 12% of American women and 8% of men received counseling or therapy from a mental health professional. Um, so I mean, right there, at least 4% more of women are, maybe the word is healing. And so our expectations are changing. And I'm at the point where like I would rather be alone than accept less from somebody, especially when it comes to communication. And some of that is personal preference, some of that is trauma, some of that is a deep, I need that. Like I need it. It's not a I'm being bratty and I want you to talk to me. It's that I need you to tell me how you're feeling and why. And if I have bothered you, if I have done something to upset you, I need to know. And I need to know why it bothered you and why it upset you so that I can fix it. One of the things that really, really sucked in my marriage was that when I would ask my ex-husband, what am I doing wrong? I don't know. You're just terrible to me all the time. Can you give me examples so I know what I'm doing? No, just be better. And I really thought that it was me that I could be better. And I was already um like uh, he wouldn't get a job for a while. And his mom paid his portion of the rent and I paid everything else. And then I paid for a lot of our wedding. He did none of that. His mom did. My parents did. And so I had a lot of debt from our wedding. And then we bought a house and we moved and um, I took care of the house for the most part. I did the cooking, I did the cleaning. Hmm. I don't know what he wanted me to do differently. I did ask him to help, but anyway, if he could have said that this moment is something you did that hurt me and explained why it hurt, then I could have fixed it. So you have to be communicative. And I think in his case, it was just that I mean, God, I could do a whole series of podcasts on my marriage. Um, but I need you to be able to tell me what's going on in your head. And if you can't, I can't. I can't. I need that level of emotional maturity. I need you to be healed enough. I need you to be present enough. I need you to be self-aware enough to be able to tell me what is wrong with you. We're not five anymore. We're not five. Um, we're all adults. I the only excuse that you should have at this point is that you're less than 25 years of age and your frontal lobe is not fully developed. Other than that, your brain is there and it's a choice. It's a choice to be self-aware or not. And it's hard. I mean, I was in my late 30s when I really had to work on becoming self-aware of who I was, of my flaws and my faults and the things that I had done to people and then fix it. It's a big, scary task to admit to yourself that you were somebody that was toxic in ways. And I know that I was. So I have worked to change it. I need somebody who can match that energy, baby, because I am not trying to heal anybody. I'm not trying to heal anybody. I'm coming in and I am healed. And I mean, I don't think you're ever fully healed from your shit, right? But I'm at least healed enough to know what's going on here and be able to verbalize it and process things a lot faster than I used to. See when I've We'll see when I'm in a point where I need to take a step back and recognize my patterns and all of that has happened for me. And if you can't be that level of human, you don't get to have my time. Period. Point blank. End of discussion. I just don't have time for it. I am not, I cannot be a fixer anymore. I cannot heal you because most of the time, the people that need to be healed don't want to heal anyway. And I'm not doing it. And so communication encompasses so much when it comes to being self-aware, being empathetic, um, validating your partner, you know, when they're sad or upset, being present with them, knowing how to put your shit aside for 5 minutes and help this person through what they're doing. Um, yeah, it's so important to be able to speak. And it doesn't always have to come out your mouth. There are plenty of couples, and there are plenty of like licensed mental health professionals who will tell you that like a text method is okay, or writing things down and giving someone a letter to discuss your feelings is okay if that's how you need to do it. But do it. But that emotional maturity, that emotional intelligence, you know, it goes that paired with a good communicator. Wow. Wow. That was nice. Now, I, you know, you look back at each of your partners and you're like, well, they did this, right? And I still have fond memories of all of my exes. And I'm like, you know, Brian was really sweet. Like Brian was my first husband. He was a very sweet and kind-hearted person. Um, Eric was very intelligent and he was very funny sometimes. Um, Bobby. Bobby was cool as hell. Like he was just a cool mother. He just was. He is the first person I was really emotionally intimate with, and it was an amazing experience. Um, and then Mr. Like, you know, he was very emotionally mature. And gosh, if I could just take, and I'm sure we all feel like this, if I could just pick out the best parts of those people and put them into one person, it'd be great. Um, but we don't get to do that, do we? I know that nobody's getting perfect. And I'm fine with that because I'm not either. Like up front, I need you to know I am not perfect. Let's set the bar low so I can I can look good, you know? But I just I cannot go without that communication piece. I cannot go without the emotional intelligence. Honestly, I don't think that I could go without like actual like intelligence either. I am a sapiosexual, which means I do get aroused by intelligence. Mr. was an English professor. Bobby had his own brand of intelligence. Eric was very he built computers. He was a biomedical major in college. Like he was smart, you know. Um, each one had this ability to talk to me about things that they were passionate about, and I loved seeing them do that. And so it doesn't have to be necessarily like book smarts. I wouldn't call myself book smart. I'm very intelligent. And I did do well in some subjects in school. I did not do well in math and science. Um, but I especially appreciate people who are intelligent when it comes to, English and history and the creative arts and things like that. I really like that in a person. Um, So that those are a few things. I mean, like there's little things, that I would prefer, but um, but those things are my tops. And I mean, and this happens every time after a relationship ends. I'm like, I'm never gonna find anybody. I'm gonna be alone the rest of my life. I'm probably not. I've removed somebody else from my life. I think it was a week ago Monday. It was my former dom. Um, something happened, and I don't remember if I've gone into detail in a past podcast, but I'm not going to go into detail today. But I ended up um, deleting and blocking him everywhere. I think he subscribed to this podcast though. I miss him, but it was necessary. It was necessary. It's just so disheartening on Facebook dating. I just want to find somebody who, like, when you are first talking to somebody that you really click with, there's like this energy of like, what are they gonna say next? I cannot wait literally to hear their next word. And I have not found that again yet. And it's only been like, 2.5 weeks. But I'm so ready for it. And I don't like I even now I'm about to tell you that I'm afraid that I'm going to be too picky and I'm going to miss out on something. But I can't I cannot mentally let myself be treated the way I have in the past. And I have not been a lucky person and found some of the love that other people have found. I don't know why. Do I deserve it? I don't know. Is this karma? I don't know. Am I just Am I a bad chooser? I mean, because the moment somebody makes me feel like my expectations are unreasonable, when my expectations are so, I mean, I really feel like the expectations that I do have now are not too much to ask of somebody. So that's why I like told those people this week, I'm like, nope, this isn't gonna work. Bye. Because I saw the red flag and I'm like, I know that this one is not one we're going to be able to, get the red stain out of. This one is going to stay red. If you have this with thought process, it's how it's going to be. And so I've been able to say adios. And so maybe the guy, the guy today was like, just don't rush it. I'm 42 and a half years old. I do not have time to wait for you to be ready to talk to me and connect with me. Either we connected or we not. I, I don't have time to waste. He's 28. Maybe he's got time to waste. I don't. I want to get on with it. Hey guys. All right. So I know this is me from the future. I just wanted to give you guys a quick update about the situation that I was just speaking on. I was going through my all of my inboxes on Facebook last night and I found some messages in my spam box. And one of them was from this guy. He, I'm assuming he already had a second account. I hope he didn't make one for this, but he got on a second account and messaged me to tell me, I see why you're alone. No one ever said you didn't deserve to be treated right, but I don't even know you, and you're projecting your past traumas onto me when all I said was it wasn't fair to start this off comparing me to someone else. You're 42, maybe try acting like it. And if that is your best attempt at making conversation, then please seek help. That was pathetic. The first instinct was to be upset, right? Somebody said something mean about me, and I was like, bro, this is wild. It is wild to message somebody on a whole separate account just to say something mean. And so I got on my second account and I blocked his second account, and then I messaged him on his first account. And I thought about being mean. It would have been easy, would have been fun. But it wouldn't have accomplished anything. So I just said, man, when you have to message someone from a second account to be mean to them, that's just wild. You can have whatever opinion you have. I'll tell you again, I'm not comparing you to him. You're totally different people in every way. I learned from every relationship I'm in. Sometimes it's what's not okay, and sometimes it's something I realize I need, and sometimes it's something I realize I don't need. That collective knowledge is not me comparing you to every single one of them. It's taking from each person and realizing what I want and what I need. We all get to decide what we do and don't want and need in a relationship. However, you get to interpret things how you want to. We all do as humans. So feel however you want and make another account to say mean things if you want. It's okay. I wish you well, and I hope you find the person who's perfect for you. It wasn't me, and that's okay, but there was no need to be mean. Um, it was the first time in a long, long time that I didn't automatically get my feelings real hurt and spiral. So kudos to me, right? But man, that's wild. Anyway, I just wanted to give you guys an update on that. I'll update you further if he continues to message me from other accounts. Relationship me somebody. So should I do a whole podcast on like what I like the traits that I want? I've talked about it a couple times now. I've talked about it on one of the ones with Jennifer. Mm. I've never thought to do that. Like I don't because I don't really have a perfect person. When I look at the people that I have been with, they're all so different. Is anybody else that way? Like, I feel like people are like, what's your type? And some people have very specific types, and that's literally all they date is their type. But if you look at the people I've been with, they are all so different. So I don't know. I don't know if that's just me. Anybody else? So it's just really even hard to quantify or qualify. I can tell you, like, there are some things that I would like for you to be into. I can do that. I can tell you that. My hair's getting long. Should I cut it back up to like right here? Right here, maybe? Mm. I sure appreciate you guys putting up with me fiddling with my hair and with the camera. I really want to shut the camera off and back on right now, but I'm not. But just know that I want to really badly. Am I expecting too much to expect to just try to? have a connection with somebody. Like that guy today made it seem like I was really rushing it, but like literally I could go back and we've probably got less than, hang on. I'm gonna look. I'm gonna look. Let's go back. Let's see when we started chatting. Oh, please. I hate for there to be a pause here. Do Sunday. Oh, we started chatting Sunday. So yeah, it was 4 days. So I mean, we have chatted a decent bit, but in all of that chatting, there's no like getting to know each other. So uh, I need to know you. I want to know somebody completely. Like I want to know everything. And then he came back and it's like, I want to know everything about you. Well, you ain't asking. You ain't all he's done for the past 4 days is tell me I'm gonna be his and he's gonna come see me and he'll fly me out to come see him. And I'm like, I don't know, you're not. Not until we know each other. So I just feel like I can't feel bad for having that expectation, that boundary. I can't feel I'm not. It's not even that I can't. I'm not gonna feel bad for it. I'm not. I want my next relationship to be my last relationship. It's what I wanted with the last one. It didn't work. So every one is still going to be, I want this one to be the last. So I'm going to give 100% from the beginning to connect with you. And if you can't do the same, it's okay. But we're not going to be together in any way, right? In any way. And maybe I should just start sending new people this podcast. Review this, please. And don't tell me I'm comparing you to an ex. And who doesn't compare somebody to their ex, right? But it's not like I'm saying, oh, this person's penis was bigger. Oh, they were cuter. No, I'm telling you, this person gave me more emotionally what I needed, and now I expect that. If you can't do it, that's okay. Somebody else can. Somebody else will. And if they won't, then I'll die alone. Hopefully not. Anyway, uh so that's kind of just where I'm at. That's just where I'm at. Maybe I won't be there next week. Maybe I will. Maybe next week I'll come to you and I'll be like, OMG. Probably not. No, you know what? I'm not going to speak like that. I'm going to speak it into existence. The next time I check in with you, I will have good news. I don't know what it'll be. I'll have good news. All of do you guys get the TikTok tarot readings? So I get them. And all of them are talking about how good February is going to be. But a lot of them talked about how good like 2024 was going to be and how 2025 was going to be. And so far, neither of them have been so great. But I love you guys. And if you have any thoughts about what I've said today, feel free to drop them in the comments. But I will tell you that if you are unkind with your comments, I will call you out in the next podcast. It's okay not to agree with me, but being unkind is really ugly. I don't like it. As always, the Sex and Love Labcast is brought to you by After Dark Playgrounds in Pensacola, Florida. It's a really awesome kinky Airbnb in the heart of Pensacola. And these folks have taken what was already a cute little house and turned it into a state-of-the-art, safe kinky space. There's multiple rooms. There's a couple BDSM rooms. There's two beds. There's swings. There's a massage table. They have it set up through iPads. There's light systems, there's playlists. It's amazing. Gotta check them out at afterdarkplaygrounds.com. They're also listed on Airbnb, but I think if you go through their website, it's a little bit easier on your pocketbook. So go talk to them. I am Lauren. I am a sex, love, and intimacy coach here in Pensacola, Florida. You don't have to be in Pensacola to be a client. You just have to want to, well, it is a lot of talking. Um, but sex coaching encompasses a lot of things. If it relates to sex and or love and or intimacy, there's a chance that I can help you work through it. Help work you through it? No, help you work through it. Whether it's a breakup, a makeup, whatever it is, contact me. I love you guys, and I do hope that things continue to get better. It's been a rough year so far, but I'm left, so I can't be too mad, right? I love you guys so much. Bye.